Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Hire Curt to coach you or your employees in AI to avoid a pink slip or having your competition eat your lunch.
Yeah, that is incredibly critical advice right now.
Did you know that Curt Robbins also produces a video series on YouTube? It's called AI for Career Success and features hundreds of short videos about artificial intelligence and workflow efficiency. My favorite is the episode that reviews the 5.5-hour Lex Fridman interview with Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei in only 7 minutes. It's for busy professionals like us.
I love that one. I mean, 7 minutes is like the perfect length when you're swamped.
Exactly, and saving you valuable time is our whole mandate today. So we're going to help you upskill quickly on the current, on-the-ground realities of artificial intelligence in the workplace.
Because things are changing fast, you know?
Right. And to do that, we are analyzing a crucial article that was published June 10th, 2026 on LinkedIn. The author is Rachel Kleinman.
And it's titled, Roughly Half of Americans Worry AI Will Take Their Jobs.
Yeah. And we're looking at what is actually happening inside companies right now and how you need to position yourself to survive it.
Because we are officially moving past the theoretical fear today.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation has moved straight from the IT department directly to your kitchen table.
Let's just start with the hard numbers Kleinman presents because they kind of set the baseline for everything else we're going to talk about.
Sure.
According to her survey data, over 50% of respondents are actively worried that AI could cost them or someone in their household their job.
Wow, over half.
Right. Now, 37% are not worried and 10% are, unsure or just decline to answer. But a 50% majority is a massive indicator of the psychological state of the workforce right now.
It really is. And, well, we have to look at the mechanism driving that number.
Right.
Because this survey wasn't conducted in a vacuum. It was taken against the backdrop of a record-breaking month of layoffs across big tech. Kleinman specifically points to Salesforce cutting more employees recently.
Oh, yeah. Right on the heels of that earlier massive round of layoffs they did back in January.
Exactly. When you see the early adopters and the actual creators of this technology slashing their own headcounts, the fear crystallizes into a very immediate concern.
I mean, it's like smelling smoke in a building, right?
Yeah.
Even if you haven't seen the actual fire, when you watch the biggest tech giants heading for the exits like Salesforce doing double rounds of layoffs, that 50% anxiety rate suddenly makes perfect sense.
That is a great analogy. The theoretical fear becomes a practical, everyday reality, and that realization is fundamentally altering the power dynamic between employees and management.
Right.
Because fear doesn't just result in, quiet stress. It triggers systemic pushback. Which brings us to a brilliant perspective shared in the comments of Kleinman's article by Matthew J. Kelly.
He's a labor lawyer, right?
Yes, he's been a practicing labor lawyer for 18 years. And he points out a crucial reality about workplace organizing.
He states that the biggest drivers of union organizing are rarely just about base compensation.
Right.
The primary catalysts are disrespect for management and the fear or just the sudden implementation of change.
Which perfectly describes the current AI environment. I mean, the House of Representatives literally just passed a bill to accelerate National Labor Relations Board, or NLRB, bargaining.
And we should just say, we are observing this strictly as an objective analysis of workplace trends. We're not taking any political stance on the legislation itself.
Oh, absolutely. Totally neutral here. But the fact that this bill exists and is moving forward is a direct reflection of these exact worker anxieties.
Yeah.
And Kelly warns employers that AI could actually be the catalyst that revives the American labor movement.
Right. Really?
Yeah, potentially returning it to the massive force it was in the 1960s. He thinks the resulting wave of organizing could eclipse even the jumpstart we saw during the COVID era.
Okay, wait. I have to challenge that premise. The 1960s labor movement was built on factory floors, in mines, and in auto plants where workers physically stood shoulder to shoulder,
Right, totally different environment.
They could literally shut off the machines and physically block the doors. So how do you organize a union of remote marketing managers or software developers who are just terrified of a software update?
It is a great question.
Does Kelly actually explain the mechanics of how that works in a digital age?
Well, the mechanism is completely different than a 1960s picket line, but the underlying psychology is identical. Digital workers are organizing through private Discord servers, encrypted Slack channels, anonymous message boards.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the catalyst, that feeling of disrespect, usually happens through poor communication. Imagine management silently rolling out an AI tool that monitors keystrokes and suddenly doubles everyone's performance metrics without any input from the team.
Oh, yeah. A Friday afternoon email saying, "Congratulations, we've integrated Copilot. We expect your ticket resolution rate to double by Monday."
Precisely. It makes the workers feel entirely commodified, like they're just line items rather than human capital.
Right.
That blindside is the exact disrespect Kelly is talking about. So unionizing isn't necessarily about stopping the technology. It's about forcing collective bargaining over how the algorithms are implemented.
Okay, so wait, the irony here is just incredible. The most cutting-edge, futuristic technology of our lifetimes might actually drag corporate America back to a 1960s-style labor dynamic.
I know, right?
That is a wild boomerang effect. I mean, are companies bringing this on themselves by how they roll out AI?
Kelly's core advice to employers is yes, and they need to carefully manage their messaging. If you deploy AI with transparency, you mitigate the fear.
But if you force it on a terrified workforce in silence, you invite organization and a massive drop in morale.
Exactly. Now, if this anxiety is causing shockwaves in American labor dynamics, we really have to look at what happens when we zoom out globally.
Right, to the actual engines of the global tech economy. Because the U.S. might be designing the software, but the operational backbone of the global economy is in places like India.
And the impact of AI is entirely borderless. We see this vividly in the analysis provided by Venkat Kumar, who commented on a recent Reuters and Ipsos poll.
Yeah.
That poll confirms that this exact same fear is deeply entrenched in India's major tech hubs too. The massive workflow shifts are completely global.
And Kumar gets incredibly specific about this. He lists the exact sectors in India that are already seeing AI reshape daily workflows. We are talking about IT delivery and support, content and marketing, back office operations, and, a lot of entry-level tasks.
Right.
Let's look at the actual mechanism of that. How exactly does AI take over IT delivery and support?
It fundamentally changes the resolution pipeline. In a traditional model, you have level 1 support agents.
The classic entry-level tech job.
Right. Junior employees handling password resets, basic troubleshooting. It requires human reading comprehension. But today, an AI agent can ingest a company's entire ticket history, read an email from a frustrated employee, and execute a script to fix a server issue.
Wow.
And it does all of that in about 4 seconds. It autonomously resolves the level 1 ticket before a human agent even logs in.
So it completely hollows out the bottom of the pyramid.
Yes. And what stands out in Kumar's analysis is the cultural shift. In India, the conversation has permanently moved past the speculative phase. No one is asking, will AI come for these jobs?
Because it's already happening.
Exactly. The new question is, which jobs will adapt and which ones won't?
And that is such a critical point for you, the listener. If entry-level and operational tasks are being absorbed globally by AI faster than expected, it means every professional listening needs to figure out how to pivot from the replaced column to the adapted column.
You have to change your relationship to your output. You shift from executing manual tasks to orchestrating workflows. The AI can generate 50 lines of code in 2 seconds, but it doesn't understand the business logic or the client's actual pain points.
So the premium moves entirely away from technical execution and heavily towards critical thinking and strategy.
Exactly. And Kumar concludes his thoughts by posing a question. Is AI a job killer or a job inventor? The reality is, it's both. The answer depends entirely on how quickly you, the worker, are willing to reskill.
That is profound. But, it brings me to a final thought that I just can't stop thinking about.
What's that?
If AI is absorbing all of these entry-level tasks globally, if it is writing the basic code and handling the level 1 support tickets, it creates a massive paradox for the future workforce.
The training pipeline paradox.
Yes. Think about it like a ladder. The mechanism AI is using is essentially taking the bottom 3 rungs off the corporate ladder. The top of the ladder is still there, but suddenly there is no physical way for a newcomer to climb up. How does a junior developer become a senior developer if they never get to cut their teeth on the basic foundational work? Because an AI is doing it all instantly.
It is the most profound challenge facing corporate leadership right now. That grunt work was the classroom. It was how you made safe mistakes.
And if that classroom is eradicated, the pipeline of future experts completely dries up.
Precisely. If AI is actively eliminating these tasks globally, how does the next generation of workers get their foot in the door? It might mean we have to completely redefine what it means to be a beginner in the corporate world.
Redefining the beginner, that is an incredibly complex structural issue for you all to mull over. Thank you for listening to the Technical Writing Success Podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Buy us a coffee and hire us to coach you and your employees in AI to future-proof your career or company.